Greetings, our viewers and listeners. Welcome yet again to another episode of Business Chronicles here at Studio 84. Studio 84 is a podcast studio here in Bugolobi along Lithuli Avenue in Kampala, and it's a space basically set up to facilitate individuals and organizations to tell their stories while along the way positioning themselves as authorities at what they do. And this is Business Chronicles. My name is Solomon Tumwesigye, one of your hosts. And, we do Business Chronicles to, host our friends and business partners and colleagues and acquaintances to, have a conversation about their business life stories. And today, just like many people who have sat in this chair here, I'm honored to host a lady of many words. She just confessed that to me, but she knows how to shorten them. Helen from Teampot. Helen, please introduce yourself. Let me not do you an injustice. How best do you like to be referred to as? Please introduce yourself, Helen.
Thank you, Solomon. Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be invited in spaces that I'm not used to, but I'm allowed to talk about myself and my team. My full names are Helen Kirunda, and I usually prefer to be called a guide.
A guide?
A guide.
Yes.
I'm not a guru on everything,
yes,
but a guide. And the guide comes from the experience. And that's how I ended up picking my niche as a team guide.
Yes.
These are the people who hold our forts. These are the people who are our spinal cords. These are the people who wouldn't be here if they were not around.
Yes.
There's no one, like they keep telling us, there's no one who's an island. You will need someone, even if just to clean a desk. You can't clean the desk and also prepare for a pitch. You will need someone. So I come from a world where I was part of teams that made institutions look good, look big, deliver on their goals. And I always thought half the time when you had challenges in these organizations, the teams had challenges. So if you sort 90% of the team's challenges, whom we call sometimes internal customers,
yes,
most probably you'll get where you're going. Wow. So I'm a guide to teams, and that's the word I'm comfortable with.
Is guide.
Yes, guide. But people call me from business coach to corporate trainer to a lecturer. I'm a guest lecturer in some universities.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you're still guiding because you're not forcing someone to do what you're saying, but you're telling them if you follow this path, most probably the chances are you will meet your goals.
Like they say, no one is self-made.
Yes.
No one is self-made. Someone held your hand at some point. So I understand what you're saying would be nothing without our teams. But Helen, there in your opening, then you get to open many other boxes that I was hoping to get to later. Okay. When you're a guest lecturer at some universities, what are you lecturing? Team guiding? What are you lecturing? What's your background, Helen?
Okay, I'll start with my background.
Yeah.
I'm a qualified insurer.
Yeah.
I'm among the few people in this country who have first degrees in insurance.
There's a degree in insurance?
Yes. Not in this country, but we are few people who have it. Yeah. Most people who are in that industry have added, it's an addition. Either it's a diploma, a certified,
or something,
something else. So their first degrees are different. Yeah. So we had that opportunity. That means even when we came back, we got the opportunity to get jobs immediately because we were few.
Who is we?
The team that came back.
Okay.
The few of us who have insurance degrees.
Okay.
It was so easy to get jobs.
You know each other?
Yes.
Do you have a WhatsApp group?
We don't have a WhatsApp group, but because we worked in the same companies.
Okay.
So we end up being in the same company groups. So I have that insurance. Then I added, like we said, we're going to speak short, but I have postgraduate qualifications in insurance. Yeah. I can say I can do insurance in my sleep. That is where I started from. Okay. And I went through the ranks till senior management. Yeah. And where the pivot came in, when I was in senior management insurance, Standard Chartered looked for me because bank assurance was coming. Yeah. So I was supposed to head that side. But, as systems take longer I became a banker because that change needed Parliament's act approvals and all that. And those are things that take forever. Yes. So, of course, you can't sit in someone's office and they just say, wait for the insurance. No. So I became a banker. So I got some qualifications in banking. But to a certain point, I left formal employment. When I left formal employment, I do other things. But that's transition, very short transition. The insurance world called me back and said, it seemed like you have too many papers that you're wasting in another field. Come back. So I was invited to the insurance institution to go and lecture. That is how I become the guy. That's how I become a teacher. So when I get into insurance now I'm teaching bankers, anyone who wants to open an insurance company. There are too many. When you want to qualify to be part of the insurance industry, depends on what you want. So there are certain things you must have. But the minimum qualification is called a COP, certification, COP, something, a small profession, certificate.
Yeah. Yes.
I've forgotten the bit that just jumped out of my head. So, but there's diplomas, there are many things. So I joined that team and I was lecturing. Now, as fate, I've since learned the word fate is not only bad fate. Fate is actually good. So it depends on what comes to you. So for me, something befell me. I don't know if it's called it fate, but good fate. I was part of the lecturers who taught bankers. They sent branch managers, and this was a group of branch managers of different banks. DTB, DFCUs, all the banks, because they made a proposal, and these people came at the same time. Because you don't want to have a branch head who is controlling agents or people who are going to sell insurance, and he or she doesn't know what they're talking about. So I think they thought it was important that anyone who's heading a branch
should be part of this.
Yes, should know what we're going. So I was part of the lecturers who did that. Now, in there, I was voted best lecturer at the end of that session.
Wow.
They chose what you'd call, lack of a better word, their class monitor, supervisor.
Yes.
And the gentleman was from DFCU. So the person who monitors those months they were with us. So they gave me presents all the way from DFCU. But I was recognized as the best lecturer for that team, that group that we taught. Now, that of course ended. They left. But the moment they leave, I think a week or so later, they called me.
He reaches out.
Yes. And he says, my branch needs, because when you're training insurance, it's not insurance only. We do customer service, we do strategy. There are things in there according to the module you've picked. So I think they noticed that there are certain things that I was good at when I was lecturing. And he said, I need my branch to be taught, to be guided.
Yes.
We need
facilitate my people. I liked what you did. Yes.
And also the fact that, again, to the word teams that comes up later, is branches also have, can we call it competition within a bank? Which branch is performing? So he wanted me. And I have a feeling he never told me he paid me from his own money.
Wow.
His own money. He told me I don't have much.
Have a budget.
He did have a budget.
But I'll make it happen.
Yes, I'll make it happen. And he kept on saying, it's little. I said, it's okay, I'll come. So I went to teach actually customer service. How to handle customers, very small things. Smile, walk in, greet someone. Don't wait for someone to complain. Walk to them. If they
call back when you promise to call
please call back. True. If someone walks in and they look confused, can someone just go up there and walk to them? The basic of customer service. Now, when I did that, I think he was seated with his other branch. Maybe someone had or something. So that is where that referral started. Another branch call.
Another one.
Now, after I've branched, other banks started calling me because I've done branches for many banks.
Yes.
Before I even started getting to senior management, the branches were inviting me.
Yes.
Now, again, as fate may have it, a wife to one of those people in there, her husband works for UNRWA. They were looking for. So I think they were talking at home or dinner and saying, we need someone. So my name
comes. I know just a person.
Yes, I know someone who knows someone who knows something like that. So, came to me. Still small branch by then. My first level. The companies I'm coming from, this banks as branches, which right now I'd call small because now it was a branch, not senior management, not HR.
Not head office.
Not head office, thank you. I go there. After that, I ended up in World Bank, still conversing, people seeing me on. Now, when I was doing that, I think I remember, the lady who was from Finance Trust, she's the one who recommended me somewhere else.
Yeah.
Now, with that chain, because I ended up falling into schools. Now, my referrals why I'm giving you all this, were all over the place. So when someone would say, but she's good at, she can speak to youth, because most of the people we sent are young orientation. It was orientation. they sent me teachers. I ended up in Amagunga Primary talking to the teachers. I ended up in Nabisunsa or Kamanojo of Nabisunsa. That one was automatic, but it was now referral, people talking about it. Now, there was no uniform, but because I come from senior management, I used to know what our problems were. Customer service was becoming big on it. And I was saying, people asking me to talk to branches, to teams, meaning people have a real problem. But now the height of the good faith.
Yes.
I'm seated and someone calls me from Parliament and says, we have this, when Parliament is ending, like currently right now,
Yes.
next year's elections, they have this circle. Pension, they collect money.
Yes.
So some people don't go back in Parliament.
Yes, that's true.
And some do go back. But because it's always 5 years, time rushes. People forget that it does. So they have created this pension scheme and circle. We need to remind people that you may not come back, you may come back. What are you doing with your money? What have you done? So because of insurance, now that's where I came in, it's retirement. And that's also something I lecture in universities, retirement. I've done generational growth, wealth, how it continues, but falls under retirement. What next if you leave? So I was invited. Now this lady goes and says, Helen, we know you're doing this. Thank you very much. They've referred. They're very good at retirement. Circle Parliament. I say, oh, okay. Now this is another level. And these are MPs you see on TV. So you're thinking, are you that good enough to talk to such people? So then she says, by the way, we don't have money. So I'm thinking, we have little. Please, we are told you are good, but we have, and it's only 2 hours. I said, okay. And I'm also, I guide on negotiation. And one trick about negotiation, if you didn't know, always if you have an opportunity, don't give your price first. You need to listen to someone first. So I say, Now, remember the branches, they'd give you 500, 200. I have a meal here, something like that. So, and it was my extra because I had another business I was doing. Say, Helen, it is 2 hours, please. We don't have. So I said, what don't you have? You tell me. I can work. And she says, it's only 5 m.
You're like, I can work with that.
First of all, I did this.
You don't know how to master your emotions.
Your emotions. The good thing, it was phone. So it was like, that second, did she just say 5 m or 500? It's like, so the second passes. I said, okay. Did you say 2 hours? Hell, now she even uses vernacular. Nyamba, go guided. Because now she knows I'm going to say something. And then she adds herself, Bangambi only $1. Quick, nyamba. I need you to do this. So they can't have it. Anyway, Waligwe.
At this point, you're thinking, even if she said 500K,
I was going to do it because I was still building my name.
Exactly.
I just needed the spaces. I needed the referrals. That's why I ended up even doing primary schools. Because when I did like Namagunga, I did the teachers, then the teachers did help P6, P7. Then among that, they told me to go for parents. Now, among the parents, any child who goes to Namagunga, the parent could be well placed. So I'm in that space. Waligwe kamalega.
Helen, I have to cut you short. So at this point, Helen, I have so many questions already. But anyway, so at this point, Helen, are you still employed?
No, I'm not formal.
Okay, okay. So this team training thing is your primary source of income. But then you're also willing to do it for as little as 200, 300, 500, which means you're very passionate about this. Yes. Now, there are very many people out there, and we meet them every day, in our business space, who this is their primary source of income. If it's not paid for, they won't do it. They don't understand that place you're coming from of, I could do this for free to build my reputation.
Sure.
That's one question. What do you tell them? But then again, at what point, I can't wait to hear at what point you stop doing it for free or, doing it for very little money.
Okay.
First, speak to the people who encourage them or whatever it is, speak to that and then tell me at what point you stop.
Now, anyone who is listening, and especially if you're building a reputation, We are not talking about someone who is already established. It is
Yeah.
some company, some name already, because they started from somewhere.
Yeah.
And no one should ever lie to anyone that whichever company, even you, Solomon, you started from somewhere. You could have been lucky you started with $1 million, but
Yes.
you started with $1 million.
Yes.
Now you have $10 million.
Yes.
So they started from somewhere. Accept two things. One, voluntary, and two, the little.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, it is that what we usually use, visibility. If I had refused the job at the insurance institute, which was paying less than what I earn per hour now, I wouldn't be here.
Wow.
But I had the papers, they were on the desk, I could still eat, I can afford to eat. But then you also look back at your goals. Let me put it this way now properly. Set your goals, know what you want. I've always told people I want to become a renowned speaker. But I'm going to become a renowned speaker by being in my bedroom. Get in the spaces that will get you there. So if that space, a branch manager says, I have 200 and it is mine, it is not from the budget, it's okay. Go. As long as it is respectful. Because there's also saying 200 and either you're going to speak in a, I don't know, Chivanda or something where you say, my standards don't do that. But if it's a branch office, someone is going to see you, because at the end of the day, people do businesses with people they know, people they've heard of, and then we add on the part of either they like you or they need your service, but they need to know that you exist.
Yes.
That's why even we have people we may despise the way they look, the way they dress, but they are making more money than most of us who have gone to school and have so many papers in the house. They just created visibility.
That's true.
So it's us who pick. So it's okay. And whoever is telling you it is not okay, ask them if they can give you that 200 on a daily. They won't.
That's true.
So turn up.
Someone, hold on. First cut. So, Helen, you mentioned something interesting. And for me, the compromise I have that many people struggle with, sometimes I struggle with, is someone comes to you, low budget, you're working on your visibility, especially if they're exposing you to a certain space, and someone is tempted to compromise their quality of delivery because the budget was low. And so the challenge is how you attach your name to a substandard product because little was paid, or would you rather not do it? Or when you agree to do it, do you go all out as if they paid top dollar because you're going to attach your name to it? Which is related to some people I have seen who create they call it a fighter brand, a cheaper brand that applies to the masses and all, but then they can't put their premium brand name to it.
Okay.
You understand
Yes,
the
I
dilemma?
understand what you're saying.
Thank you very much.
Now, if you ever, I'll start with this, commit and tell someone I'm going to come and deliver on what you've asked for, always go all out. Always do not ever compromise. If you have accepted to take the 200 and your usual price is 2M,
Deliver like
deliver
you
a
paid
2M. If you are not, now for me, what I do to answer your question, if I'm not going to do it for 200, I do not stand up and wait for my 2M. Because there are very many different circumstances in business why there's a day where you compromise and when you don't. On price.
Yes.
I don't compromise on delivery. I don't. And why? I have known, and it has worked for me. I don't know about you, Solomon, that the times even when I've paid nothing, I have got huge businesses for just me turning up and being perfect. I may not, in my world, I'm perfect. I may not be perfect to you, but I will do the 80%.
Yeah.
So that someone says, I'll give you a small story about delivery. I delivered on a certain price. Again, it was space. And this was I'll tell you the fact, it was about 2.5. But I could have charged these people close to 9M, the dollar conversion, if I had done it.
Yes.
Delivered. At the end of the delivery, the boss, because I think he had seen the budget, he said, add this lady 2M. Before I left. They were overwhelmed. And those same people, they're always on my social pages. They have referred me so many times. I can't, it's like, okay. And they are the same people. If they had even told me 200, I would have gone because I could see potential. One other thing I tell people when I'm guiding them, know your environment. Why is that important? Know your environment from who is calling me. If Solomon calls me, tells me jump, I just ask how high. And then there is a Tom, Dick, Harry who says, don't even jump. I won't even turn up. It's like, really? I am not coming. So I am one of those people in that space. So when you're going to compromise on pricing, still do the all out. But also know when you have the cheaper brand. And when we call cheaper, call it affordable. Let's use these telecom whatevers. They have from Bakalasti to, I don't know, corporate whatever.
Postpaid.
Yeah, but when they give you also this Pakalast,
It's the
they
same
deliver
minute, yes.
to that person who wants his Pakalast.
It's not like your network of Pakalast minutes
Doesn't work. Or when you press in, like the numbers, say they say you can buy airtime 500. When you look for 500, it doesn't accept it.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They also deliver on that. So they have never gone wrong. So there's nothing wrong with having the packages. Because even you in your business or in mine, there are people who will tell you, we're just 20 and the venue is Kampala Road, let me say. So I'm not going to do transport. It is 2 hours. Even if I wanted to arrive on a board of 2,000, I'm on Kampala Road on 2,000. So if someone says 200, and I think there is also other advantages, I will still turn
I
up.
may take it, yes.
Then someone says, we are 100 people. We are going to Tororo. We shall leave 2 days before. You know all the things where you need to hotel, your assistants, the people where they're going to eat, and then they're saying 200. Really? Apart from the fact that I want to deliver, but business, I have to pay my employees. Then you say I can't do 200. That one minimum is 2M. So compromise on what is needed.
Yeah.
But you cannot compromise on delivery.
On delivery.
I will not. I will. Solomon, the little maybe you've said about me or you know about me, even if it's dressing up. I could be in jeans now.
Yes.
Because I'm thinking you need just a t-shirt. But if you had told me I was going to stand in front, I would bring my shoe of God knows how much, even if it was second hand. But I'm saying it's the best shoe. It is the best dress.
Yes.
I need to look good. So
Show up right.
There's that person who will sit and say, but we have been looking for someone. So never compromise on that one.
Helen, I'm still stuck at the client who paid you extra because you delivered.
Yes.
And my question, would you say you have been blessed to serve good clients? How do you attract the blessing of good clients like that?
Yes, I will not deny that. I'll also say, and I do this with youth especially when I'm doing orientations, put in the work.
Yeah.
Prepare. The last meeting you sat in with me and I delivered on that pitch, depending on who's giving me feedback, I could say, let me just give myself the 50% because I'm trying to say that.
Yeah.
But I sat all night and I was like, how do I get this audio? Depending on what someone says, but it's more of, I needed to think through. The props I used are not normal, unconventional.
We shall not talk about
Yes.
the props.
Yeah, we know. Yeah, we shall not. But what I'm saying is there was preparation. And yet I could have stood and used the PowerPoint.
I was a recipient of the preparation. And what you did, you have been in that room for a while. You know how, quiet and slow it can be. My feeling is that you prepared a way to snap it out of its normal environment to... Yes, I get it.
So then I'm saying this preparation.
Now, typically for a hyper environment, that opening would not be necessary.
Yes, it wouldn't.
Yeah.
Now I would know, again, knowing environment. For anything, like they said, know your environment, know your audience. There are people I know, now if I use this one, no. So what do I do? That's the preparation, depending on whom I'm going to talk to.
Yeah.
It will work. Either it is hyper. What do these hyper guys do? I've gone to simple things like team building, and because people have been told they're on a retreat, they walk out of the rooms carrying their drinks. And for them, it's retreat. We came to rest. No one told us that there's a bit of jumping.
Yes.
Now, you must have worked out already, whom am I dealing with? Are these PS or government officials, my friends, my who? Preparation is important in anything. And that is where most of us go wrong. I can tell you I can speak in my sleep. If I know the topic. If you told me to talk about customer service, I don't really have to prepare. I think I have like some 3-4 topics in customer service. But because I need to continue to head to where I want to go to be a renowned speaker, I will think of even when they've been given a primary class, a university class, are business owners, because it's all customer care. That's different. I was once told by an Indian who told us marketing. He said two things: know how to deliver deliver or answer a question, the same question, to a 5-year-old, a 16-year-old, 35, and a 70. But you're talking about this cup or this studio. Why Studio 84? Child asks, why did you need to know how to answer that child? Now, that is what that is preparation.
Yes.
I need to understand my audience, then I know which level I'm dealing with. So you will not fail to get the clients when they understand that, oh, she can do this in 5 minutes, she can do it in 10 minutes, and we all understand.
Helen, I'm going back to selecting your clients.
Yes.
And pricing, because these are very, everyday questions that entrepreneurs struggle with. Are there clients you don't serve? A class, a caliber, a tribe, so to say? Because we know that I have experienced it. Someone will always give you a certain level of clients. If, for example, you accept to take a referral and serve a low budget client, the referrals that will come through them will most likely be low budget.
Yeah.
And for someone, I have baptized you who has been blessed with decent clients.
Thank you. And may they continue.
How do you choose? How do you say no? Saying no. How do you choose your clients? How do you say no, or who do you say no to? Yes.
Now, I usually start with, I'll give you my normal price, the normal, the current, or what I deal with, depending on what you've come for. Now, that time I do say no. I don't know if it's more often than not, but I say no. But the no comes from two major things. One,
yes,
can I use the word comfort?
yes.
The place I'm going to deliver in, if I'm not comfortable with it. I'm not saying I won't do a 5 million 1 hour job in Chibanda. Because that's my name. Like, people see you getting out of the Chibanda, say, what the hell? And you're saying I still got 5M. No. So comfort. And comfort also goes to, can I afford the people, my assistants, my team, the people who are turning up? If I need a photographer, can I do that? So that's comfort. That's first important. I will say no. Then the other category are people when you're sitting presenting and they minimize you. I did psychology. I've had people say, but Helen, it is just talking.
Must every entrepreneur study psychology?
Either you don't study it or you learn the signs.
Okay.
You need to learn the signs. Like the way you walk in when I'm not happy, you'll know. And you say, but Helen, so you don't need to go to class to know when I'm happy or when I'm not. Yes. That minimizing, I'm using those keywords. I will notice. You walk into a room and someone says, but it is just talking. And in my mind, I'm saying, Solo, if it is just talking, you talk. Why did you actually pick up the call? There's value I'm adding.
I know.
There's value I'm adding.
But we are just 5 people.
We are just 5 people.
But I'm still speaking as if I'm speaking to 100 or
1,000. Because that's why I'm saying, for me, I go all out. So if you're telling me you're 3 people, I will pack my props. I will sit out all night. I will sit on a laptop to Google.
It's the same fuel that will take me to Nambole.
Even if it's 5 people or 1,000 people. So my point is, I don't know what other words to use. If you minimize me and I'm not comfortable in a place, I will definitely say no, whichever price. Because I've also got to that stage where, you remember when you said you volunteer, you're free. I have been lucky, like you've said, and blessed that now I'm at a place where it's okay for me to say no and still be at home and sleep. Yet I'm broke, but I have a certain level I am achieving. So I'm not going to run for everything. Even the things I do for free, because I do a lot of charity work. I'm in so many organizations where they call you and I speak for free. But I know that the place is comfortable. They believe in me. They don't minimize me. And among those people in that charity organizations, some of them are CEOs, some of them are head of, they call them what, chief parties or whatever. Yes. So those two are the ones that decide the price or my delivering. But I will say no. And then let me add this quickly. If you don't, when you're making your presentations or proposals or the turning up, half the time look the part. Remember when I said that I'll even change the way I dress? When you walk in there, people minimize you by not doing your homework. Someone is talking, who is the new president? You are not sure if it's Trump, we are still doing Trump, or with the lady. There are certain small things that twitch people and say, you said she's a I have a client who called me a blue chip. I'll take that. She said, you're a blue chip. But I may not know everything. Just look knowledgeable if you have to. So you prepare, look
Know
in
that
there.
Syria went down the other day.
Yeah, at least know that. Know that we have a new woman president in this country, on the continent, Botswana.
Yeah.
So when you're talking, it's like...
Okay, I didn't know that. I didn't.
Oh, we do on the continent.
Yes.
So, look, I'll tell you one quick thing. I was seated at Legends, the one of behind, the former one, rugby club.
Yes, rugby club.
My son used to play rugby a lot, so I made friends with rugby. So once in a while I go. So I was seated, but this was when I was a bit younger, when people didn't think, that age of like 20-something, people think this one has just come to either hook someone or something. So this guy... rugby, they only watch rugby on the screens unless it's not in season. So that time there was actually a basketball match. So this guy throws a three-pointer. You know a three-pointer, how it's calculated? So I shout, oh my God, 3 points. I start clapping. And I was at the counter. The guy's like, you, a woman like your age?
The one who just came
Came
here,
here.
the one I just sized.
I said, how do you know 3 points? I said, and for me from school, I was a sports person.
Yeah.
I said, I know my points. All of a sudden, whenever I would walk in, I'm like them.
Yes.
Oh, did you see?
Because they know.
Now the MVP.
Yeah.
And all I did was just to always look for, if you're going to a rugby pitch, at least some, even if it's not rugby, at least know who is the current premier sports.
What not scrum is or
Yeah.
something.
Or even, sometimes it may not be, this was basketball.
Yeah.
But look like you are a sports person.
Yeah.
Don't now start talking about your wig. You are in a rugby pitch. People don't want to hear your makeup. That's not the time. So knowing your environment. You'll find me in when I'm doing charity work. And again, it's because of that Indian guy. There are too many stories that guy used to tell us. And he would say, the way you dress, there are certain professions, when you don't dress like that, someone will bypass you. And even included the red districts. He said, have you ever seen anyone in a red district wearing a traditional dress?
Abusuti.
She didn't come to work unless you're stupid. So when you're walking and you're in Abusuti in the red district, whoever is the client will bypass you because they say, I think this one is just...
You're not the target client.
You're not the target client.
Or something.
So if you understand your environment, it is so easy for you to be able to say no because they look at you. By the time you're saying, I'm not doing for that kind, you actually look the part.
Why at this point do I want to invite you to talk about dressing the part in a certain space that we both
Please
know?
call me.
But,
Please call me.
But on what you're saying, Helen,
Yes.
I dare add that sometimes it's important that you deliver for free than have someone pay you little and feel like they are paying you.
Thank you. I like the way you've put it, and it would fall in that category I said, minimizing. Why people do free things, they are comfortable, they are happy. You invite them, they can deliver on what you want. You respect them, and whatever information they're going to give you, you actually will take it. Not necessarily 100%, but it's worth listening to. You will go and do free.
Yeah.
And then someone will, remember when I said someone will still offer a 5?
Yes.
I'm saying, where? Who? I'm being invited just because someone, maybe they're doing a tick-off. When you're doing proposals, some of these proposals, especially us now who deliver fast proposals before you turn up, you will notice that 1 week, you have the feel. There's a difference between someone begging you when I said, they're saying that because they actually know you can do it, but...
And then the other one who comes with entitlement with their money like it's a lot.
You will never do it. Because for me, and I'm not going to deliver, because I'll also be sort of minimizing you, then I won't deliver. Then the person in the audience will not see me. And one other thing to add on that, I'm going to say I pride myself in never being in a gray area.
Yeah.
I'm not a perfect human being, but the closest, like my sisters, my friends I've been around 20 years, they will tell you want to tell the truth, ask Helen. And I don't do it in a bad way.
Yeah.
They trust that I can tell them your hair doesn't look nice.
Everyone.
And going behind the back. Yes, my close friends know that. So when you go to this person and you say, I will deliver, I'll turn up at 8, deliver for 1 hour, I want this amount of money. I follow through the script. It's like when people owe me money, especially big companies, I keep telling them, pay me at this particular time when we agree. Because I can't afford to have a lawyer to go after a bank. Like my lawyer, like bank lawyer, no. So I will even call your CEO to say your accountant said Friday. It is 4 weeks since Friday. And because I'm not saying I'm reporting you, but I'm saying, guys, I can't afford a lawyer who can go against, like, what bank? I can't afford a lawyer against you, Simon. So why do I waste my money? So I'd rather make the call. So I've done my homework a lot. I will know someone who knows Simon until I get to that year and say, you guys haven't paid me. So be in a place where you're comfortable. That's most important. Easy to say no.
That last example you have used is very close to my heart because many times, we find ourselves wanting to find out who do I have to call for the accounts department to make.
And don't even look for who do I have to call. Who is the mover and shaker? That's another tip I tell people when they want to get things done. Do you know that there are places where, I'll use family. Some grandfather of yours in the village, in a room you take food for, you feed. When he says they are not burying there in that part, they don't. Meanwhile, you have a bungalow in Bugolovi. But this Muzei has said no. Look for those guys. Don't even, if it's the CEO, well and good. But you'll find the CEO has to call maybe some accountant. Look for that accountant. Or look for that HR. By the time you call the CEO, he's taking you back. So you don't bother, like, find the real mover.
At this point, I'm looking for the old Muzei in some organization in this city right now.
If you ever get that worked out, and you have them on speed dial, like,
yes.
If they don't call you back, say, Helen, I saw you called during the day. Now it's like midnight. What was it? I sent a zang. I said, it's like tomorrow you hear some guy saying, Madam.
They were the ones avoiding your calls the other day.
By the way, those ones, if you ever have time, especially in associations or government institutions, they give you a job properly, and then this guy sits on your money for reasons you don't want to get into.
It's a government institution, and it's
they
not
have
a lot of money.
It's not a lot. They have accepted, and also, in our businesses, companies or associations have, what do you call it? When to pay. I don't know how to term that. They say we pay only on 15th and 30th.
Yes.
So you as Helen, you say, it's okay, 15th will come. Let me train. 15th is coming. Because now they have said you're in the bunch of what? 15.
Yes.
This guy makes another 10, 15s, which have passed. Those are 3 months. So when you call, you say, no, madam, you are not on the list, those things. Then you find that Muzei. In the morning, it's like, mobile money or account.
And yet the other day they had standards.
You passed the 15th, then they missed you, then they flew out for a workshop. He keeps telling you everything. Meanwhile, you know where the Muzei is. You are even with the Muzei in a nightclub, like at some golf club. You are drinking. Yes. And Muzei, they flew and say, really? So you call back and say, guy has told me that you're not in the country. Yeah? But we were with you last night. I am telling you, I have so many stories. So look for that Muzei. You will handle.
Helen, all your stories are true. Thank you very much, Helen, for gracing us with your presence here at Studio 84. Like you warned us, you have long stories. We can't quite exhaust in 30 minutes. But thank you for coming, Helen. You're welcome anytime to give us more tips on other practical ways of doing business in this city. Viewers and listeners, is there anything else you wanted to add? Maybe something you had prepared to share with your people that you'd want to speak to?
Quickly, I would use the word flexibility.
Yeah.
When I'm guiding people, always. A team, if you're part of a team, be flexible.
Yeah.
What do I mean by flexibility? If you can't fit in, go ahead and say you can't fit in. But if they tell you today it is time for the 200 we're talking about and you think it's comfortable, fine. If it is the $2,500, go pick it. But be flexible. The Chinese have a saying that if you don't bend, you break. If you don't bend, there's a time where you'll need to bend. There is definitely. So if you are working with teams, if you are a leader especially, because quickly for Solomon, I am a team person in many, where I'm not the leader.
Yes.
But if you're a leader and you can't afford to bend, that team will break.
It will break.
People will close out.
Yes.
So be flexible. That is
true.
A tip that I give to especially anyone running, however small your business is, even if you're hawking water. know that sometimes you'll have to go to the street and hawk.
You may be the kind of person who doesn't take any BS, but sometimes you have to know what you want.
And
there's always and
Solomon, it's not actually BS. I may be hawking on the road, but I don't need someone to touch my body.
Yes.
I'm just selling you a bottle. That means, yes, I'm in the sun. It's okay. Respect me in my sun. BS may be limited.
Yeah.
But as you, as an individual, business owner, someone who wants to go somewhere, and we are not only talking about business owners, even if it's former employment, be flexible that when the boss says cup of tea, and he hasn't asked you in a bad way, make sure the cup of tea is there and start the meeting.
Yes.
But if you say, you know me, I come from this restaurant, I don't do that. Someone else will deliver that cup of tea and they are promoted. So flexibility is one word I'm sending to the teams. But thank you for having me.
Wow, you're welcome, Helen. Our viewers and listeners, Helen Kirunda from Teampot. If you want to know what she does at Teampot, I'll definitely drop their links below, their website, their contact. Very interesting lady of so many words. But she also knows how to be quiet in the room and look like she knows nothing. Anyway, until the next episode of Business Chronicles, thank you, Solomon Tumwesigye, Studio 84.
Thank you.